Good evening, and welcome to Friday night's wrap up of this week in precious metals. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals and Concierge Bullion Services in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. I have the live John Pennekamp camera up. As you know, it's the one I've been playing most lately because they got such great, cool coral, and occasionally you see a lot of barracuda down there as well. A little bit murky, though, I will say that. The outlook is a little bit murky if you're snorkeling or scuba diving in John Pennekamp right now, but that's not unlike the outlook we have now for our economy, politically and economically. The outlook is pretty murky, but for the most part, we can see our way through that once you start to really look at things and examine what's going on. And it's the same thing here in the ocean. If you look around, you see all life starting to move around there. You see the fish down here. And a lot of life you don't see, actually, but it's there. There you go. A bunch of little fishes there swimming around. Well, I'm going on vacation, man. I've had a long week. I'm going to be gone for a week. I'm going to probably do some quick updates, but they'll be really quick. I'll try to do more like audio updates that I'll download to Marcelo, and he'll put them up here. But let's talk about the week. Let's talk about what we've seen go on and kind of what I expected to happen today did happen as well. But meanwhile, here's our quote. We all have self-doubt. You don't deny it, but you also don't capitulate to it. You embrace it. And that's Kobe Bryant. Now, I'm not sure. He may be, most sports figures are controversial to some degree, but I really did like this. Everybody has self-doubt, and you can't deny it. But we don't capitulate to it either. In fact, that's kind of like just giving up. What we do is we embrace it, we learn it, and we learn how to manipulate it in our favor. And that's exactly what we do with these manipulative markets that we see in precious metals. Of course, the game is rigged, but if you don't play, you can't win. And once you know how it's rigged, you instantly became one of the top players at the table. Well, let's take a look at, a rough market across the board for a lot of people. The average working Joe out there with his 401k or his IRA or whatever it may be, his pension account tough day, even in the crypto world right there as well. Just across the board, I mean, everything, even gold getting knocked by about 21 bucks. Silver kind of holding its own around that $19 level, but still knocked down about 30-40 cents or so. We'll get to that in a moment in the 24-hour charts. And of course, you're going to know exactly when it happened. Powell spoke today. And just like I said, every time the Fed speaks, the markets in precious metals are likely going to get hammered either slightly before, during, or after. And typically, it happened after today, and as you notice, and we'll see that in the 24-hour markets again here shortly. Gold and silver get monkey, and it has nothing to do with inflation. It has nothing to do with the Fed. It has everything to do with manipulated markets, algos, and that the fact that the big commercials that are trading gold and silver know for a fact that the managed money, the algo-driven longs that they're trying to wash out are going to capitulate their bullshit paper positions in the in the COMEX markets, in the NYMEX markets, in the LBMA markets, that they're going to capitulate. And again, it's the same manipulative behavior we see all the time. It has nothing to do with what the Fed really said. It has nothing to do with inflation. Gold should be double where it's at. Silver should be double where it's at least. And the only reason it's not, because these markets are manipulated, folks. That's the only reason it's not. But no less, every market getting hacked down to hell today. Who was the beneficiary of this? Well, the dollar, but not dollar buying power, but the dollar against all the other currencies. This is an economic war, folks. We're in an economic war against the euro and all these other countries. Again, I always like to use the word the U.S. dollar, the Federal Reserve, is in a race. It's like the horse race to the glue factory. Sorry, I had to think about that for a second. I've said it a million times. See what happens when you get old. You forget things. And actually, a well-needed vacation, a little break here in the next week might clear my mind as well. But that's exactly what it is. It's the last horse to the glue factory. That's what the U.S. dollar is. And, there was some good writing out there. And boy, if you hear that squeaking, ready? That's my chair here. Sorry about that. Need a little oil down there. Speaking of oil, my voice needs some oil here too. And this is the evening Friday night report, and it's brought to you by some unknown red, but it's not too bad. One sec. Oh man, I just talk all day. That's why it's easier for me to do these reports in the morning, because my voice is just end of the day gone. Well, the dollar is the last horse to the glue factory, and it's an economic war. It really is. And I believe that this war goes way deeper than most people realize. I think the U.S. dollar intends. I mean, it's about the empire, folks. Think about it. The U.S. dollar is really. It's not this country that's the empire, although it really should be, because this country is a great country. We have beautiful land out there. We have great people. When we get along with each other, and we finally realize that the enemy is not each other, not our neighbor that we disagree with, but our enemy really is big government out there and big corporations, big crony corporations. Those are our enemies, folks. The elite that are trying to mold you, trying to, like we talked about in last night's video, with predators that encircle their prey and get their prey to move where they want them to go. That's exactly what's happening out there. And don't trust your media. Don't trust your corporate media. You know this. I know this. They're just trying to manipulate you into, again, get you into their narrative. But I digress. I'm going off into political stuff. But I believe that this is a concentrated effort by the U.S. Federal Reserve to knock down all markets across the board: Dow Jones, SP, NASDAQ, gold, crude oil, Bitcoin. And you know why? Because where do they want people? They want people piled into the U.S. dollar. They definitely want people piled into the U.S. dollar. They want people to invest in the U.S. dollar, which means treasuries as well, because U.S. dollar backs treasuries. But what a terrible day for a lot of people out there. A Dow Jones down 1,000, the S&P almost in that sub $4,000 level. I mean sub 4,000 level again, and NASDAQ 500 points down. That's 3.94%, basically 3 to 4% down across the board in a single day for these three markets. Gold down 1.24%. Not as bad, but remember, I've been noticing for the last couple. What is it, man? Let me think here. Time just kind of goes by me. It's got to be at least the last month I've noticed that, and it's probably more. I lose track of time. That gold has been tracking. You see the red right here? When these three markets have been in the red, so has the price of gold. Has done the same. I haven't followed Bitcoin, but Bitcoin took a big hit as well, below that 21,000 mark. Excuse me. Like I said, man, at the end of the day, my voice is just shot. Okay, that certainly helps. So here we are, hemorrhaging down. Let's take a look at what precious metals markets have done. 1738. The market is closed. Let me see if it's open yet. I'm getting this done a little bit late. Nope, not open yet. Shortly here. 1738 the close. We saw a high of 1759, as you can see, down $20 overall through the day. Silver 1893, a low of 1886, a high of 1943. Basically a 35-cent move there. That's not awful for silver. And platinum still at that sub $900 level. Platinum, the most unloved metal of all of them, has been unloved for quite some time. And there's my belief is that you really, when a metal or a good commodity or a good product is really at its all-time low, not all-time low, but a long-time low, just nobody seems interested in it at all. There's very little activity, and that's true of platinum on the retail end of it, I can tell you that for sure. Just no love for platinum. I think it's cheap. I don't think you're going to see much cheaper prices on this than platinum, and I believe platinum should be double, triple what it is right now. Honestly, I'm just saying it. But as I said, I think silver should be double, triple, or more than what it is, and gold should be as well, if it wasn't for these crooked mother effers in the COMEX markets, in the criminal crimex markets run by the CME group. And that's not just my opinion. That's the opinion of people that are way smarter than me. So, I'm not making up this conspiracy shit that, oh yeah, these markets are manipulated by the man, by the, the black helicopter, the guys that sit around, the white dudes that sit around in suits, black suits, and conspire against all us working class guys. No. This market is truly manipulated. We've seen it in the convictions with J.P. Morgan. We've seen it with their traders just recently getting convicted. and over we see it, and yet they still do nothing. I mean, it's just like, it's almost like the CME group and the regulating groups that are supposed to take care of make sure these companies operate non-criminal enterprises are just saying like, yeah, we know it's crooked. Fuck you. We're not going to do anything about it. Excuse me, that's the first F word I'm throwing here. But it is a Friday night evening show, so hopefully the kids are in bed already. And I always do rate these things R, at least, for strong language. All right, well, take a look at these markets. It's a gift, folks. It's a gift. It's a freaking gift. Buy these dips. If you already bought in, you even bought in at double these prices, relax, go fishing, go enjoy yourself. Precious metals is really about wealth preservation. And I know we've seen some big downs here since 2020. And again, 2020 was a very unique time if you think about it as well. Silver markets had rocketed up to that $30 mark. Gold was closer to that $2,000 mark, touching that or close to it almost a couple times in the high 19s. And here we sit right now. Not bad overall when you figure that these markets right here, the equities markets, have just, wow. 37,000. How high was the S&P? How high was the NASDAQ? So they're down substantially more than gold right now and silver. And again, the only reason the price of gold and silver are down, folks, is because of pure price manipulation in criminal crime X markets. All right, I get tired of talking about it, but if they're going to keep driving these prices down and keep these prices artificially low like they are, just buy these dips in physical. You're never going to go broke. You're never going to wake up and hear your gold and silver went bankrupt. You're never going to hear, it's just not going to happen. And again, if these criminals want to keep these prices low like that, stick it up their asses, keep buying physical. Which brings me to the point of my my title here, or I hope that was the title here that I picked out, which is capitulation. I have seen no capitulation in the retail silver and gold markets for I can't tell you how long. I saw major buying happen around 2008, 2009, 2012. Market got hammered from $50 silver down. Again, we find out later that was J.P. Morgan that took. Think about it. That's how criminal that is, folks. 2012 market, we were at $50 silver. Guess who took that market down and got caught for it and got fined? J.P. Morgan and other traders and other big commercial banks out there. They did that. They dropped that price down from 50. They got caught for it. They got fined for it. That's what the whole fining and everything was about. Was our 2012 market where we had $50 plus silver. Silver was going to where it really needed to go, and they manipulated the hell out of it. Okay. And there's still players out there. The legal system and the economic system and the commodity groups still allow these crooked criminal motherfuckers to play. All right. But meanwhile, keep buying these. I said it 3 times again. I hope the grandkids are asleep. Your kids should be old enough to listen to this if you're listening to me and you understand what I'm talking about. All right. I'm moving out of here to the overnight markets because you know me. I can start to move along. Things move out of them, move back. And we could make these really long. And I'm tired and I'm hungry and I'm ready to start my vacation right now. Where did the criminal activity, not the criminal, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of a crime movie. Well, that's what we're living here. Where did the markets get monkey hammered down? Overnight, actually, in the probably LBMA markets, New York Crime X markets, or Globex, the overnight Globex markets. And then, bam, right there. That's probably about right before Powell was about to speak. Or, like I said, gold was foretelling that Powell was going to come out. And that's not even anything. That is just pure and simple commercial, collusive kind of, whether it's spoofing, I don't know what to call it. But right there, folks, that's not natural. There is no silver physical capitulation out there. There is a tightness in physical silver. There is no other good reason for this spike in green downward in the New York Crime X market other than pure criminal behavior. That's my opinion and the opinion of people that are much smarter than me as well. That's just criminal right there, all right? There is no capitulation in physical silver. Who the fuck is out there selling physical silver or gold in these markets unless they were complete frickin' morons? And that's what this indicates. It indicates someone selling gold and silver. Only a fucking moron would sell gold and silver in these markets right here, and that's what you're looking at. And you know what? It's not real. That's just spoofing. I don't know what you call it, spoofing. That is just criminal. Again, manipulative behavior that you're looking at right there in the price of gold. That spiked downward in the Crimex markets, of course, but it happens in all these bullshit markets. Same thing with silver. Take a look at that. Boom. All right. Where does that happen? And why? Has nothing to do with the Powell raising rates. It has nothing to do with the stronger fiat turd dollar than the other fiat turds. It has nothing to do with any of that stuff. It has everything to do with sheer manipulation in the commodities markets right here, and that's what you're looking at. This is not capitulation of silver by anybody that has half a fucking brain, all right? This is just pure manipulation. Ooh, boy. Wow. Okay. Let's move into, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how do you like the play? Oh, boy, sorry about that. Wall Street reacts to Powell's brief Jackson Hole speech. Speaking of, they are Jackson Holes, man. But the Fed, there's some ways, again, the Fed is in an economic war with all these other currencies, the euro, the ruble, the won. They want to be the last fiat turd standing, the last fiat turd horse to the glue factory. That's what they're looking towards, and they're fighting and doing everything they can to do that. That's why they're raising rates right now, because they know they're going to have to drop them at some point. It's like being in a gunfight. You just blew off all 6 rounds in your revolver, 5 rounds if you got bigger bullets, but you just blew off all your rounds, and there's a lull in the fight right now. So what do? You reload, and that's exactly what the Fed is doing right now. They're reloading, and what are they reloading for? They're reloading their bullets so they can empty it again and go back to zero rates, because what they can't afford to happen is to have to do quantitative easing again, lowering rates again, and they're going to have to. They're going to have to. Everyone knows it. It's just telegraphed. I mean, today's whole deal was telegraphed, all right? So that's why I'm saying, if the price of gold and silver, if there's any talking heads out there or anybody in the financial world that's saying, and especially these so-called economic experts, these so-called gold and silver experts, these so-called experts in the corporate media world, they'll say, oh yeah, higher rates, stronger dollar, that's why gold and silver sold off. They're idiots. They have no clue what they're talking about. Gold and silver is purely a manipulated market. But again, take advantage of it, folks. Really, take advantage of it. Stick it up their heinies. All right. Listen, why are you happy you own gold and silver? This chart, I talk about it all the time, and I'm almost tired of talking about the same shit all the time. So, here, let me have a sip of the red. I'm not sure what it is, but here, cheers to all you listeners out there, all you folks, whether you agree with me or not. Cheers to all of you. I hope you're having a great weekend. Okay, this chart is what should keep people that buy gold and silver sleeping well at night. All right. This is what should keep you happy at night. This chart right here. This is the chart that tells you shouldn't worry. And I'll tell you why. Because and there's no historic reason to believe it's ever going to happen again, until this chart right here, and you see the line then going across here, starts to go upward. That's the only time you should ever sell for any substantial period of time. When this chart starts to go upwards, that's when you should sell your gold and silver. And let's just tighten up this chart to a 1-year chart. Let's take a look at what the 1-year chart looks like. I don't see that chart going up at all. Maybe a little rebound right here. But let's take a look at the 5-year chart. Where's that headed, folks? Woohoo! Look what administration that kind of happened under, just an accelerated version of it. Well, that's what happens when you have people running a world that have no fucking clue what they're doing economically or politically, actually. Let's take a look at the 10-year chart here. Whoa, just fell off a chart there as well. Folks, until this line right here starts to trend upward for any length of time, and when it does, that means the world is fixed. We got some smart people running the country. We got some smart people running the banking system. That's the only time that you're ever going to see this line go up. And until you do, you don't sell your gold and silver. Sleep well, because these folks are just going to drive the dollar into the shitter. At some point, there will be a reset. I'm not quite sure what that reset will look like. It'll just be digital dollars. It'll just be a dollar with another zero on it. Not really. It'll be the same dollar, just by a hell of a lot less. That's what we're in, an accelerated version of the decline of the dollar. And it's been happening even worse since we went off the gold standard. Let's move into something that I do better than any of the talking heads on YouTube out there, or damn close to it. is I am a second-generation dealer in precious metals, buying and selling gold, silver, and platinum coins and bars. I also do rare coins and paper money as well, and estate stuff, jewelry, and all that stuff. But that's not what we're here to talk about. And so what can I do is I can tell you what the best deals out there when it comes to gold and silver, what you should be buying and what you probably shouldn't be buying, and the premiums involved with that. I'm going to give some love to SD Bullion, although here goes my selling. If you want to skip my selling thing here, my little spiel here. I advertise to beat the big online 800-pound gorillas out there like SD Bullion, APMEX, and JM Bullion. I advertise to beat their prices on all their commonly decently priced products. I don't carry all the stuff they do. They carry a lot of fluff and shiny shit that I don't really stock here. That's higher premium as well. But I will beat or meet. I will likely beat their prices. Not likely, I will beat their prices. SD Bullion, JM Bullion, APMEX Bullion, and the big online guys as well. Concierge Bullion Services, if you're buying large quantities, 2,500 ounces or more of silver, or more than 100 ounces of gold, Concierge Bullion Services will beat all the big guys out there, including Miles Franklin, who I respect in a great way as well. But I'm a highly competitive guy, and I'm out there looking to get this type of business too. All right, there you go. There's my sales spiel. Best deals out there, folks. Of course, 1,000-ounce bars would be the best deal, but they're very difficult to move around. The only reason you would buy 1,000-ounce bars, and the people that I would advise to buy 1,000-ounce bars are the big whales out there, like the big Texas whale that's buying $1 billion worth of gold. You know, I can't understand why they would want to buy overpriced silver eagles, spend way too much, overpriced 90%, spend way too much. And again, some people say, well, they're billionaires, they know better than you. Bullshit. Listen, I would listen to them when they told me how they made their $1 billion, all right? You know, if you show me how you make your $1 billion, then yeah, you got the right to talk about that. But just because you made $1 billion selling a particular product or doing a particular thing doesn't make you an expert in everything, all right? And I sincerely believe that anybody out there buying large quantities of silver eagles and 90% silver in these overpriced products right now is just being foolish with their money. I'd be in 1,000-ounce bars if I was buying huge quantities of silver right now for sure, because the premium is small, and you can always buy enough. You could buy, you know, if you're buying that many 1,000-ounce bars, you could certainly buy enough of small quantities to go out and feed yourself in one of those Armageddon type situations. That's never going to happen. But you know my opinion on that stuff. Well, what's the next best price out there? I'm going to look at my sheet, and I can tell you what I can beat the pants off all these folks are, which is 100-ounce bars, kilo bars, 10-ounce bars, and 1-ounce bars. Again, we advertise to beat SD Bullion on larger quantities. We advertise to beat the big boys like Miles Franklin et al. And again, I respect all these guys. I respect all these companies. They're good companies. That's why I talk about them, all right? But again, I'm very highly competitive. Let's get out of advertising for myself, but I think it's important to tell you, oh, hold on. I didn't tell you what the best deals are. Best deals out there, folks, and it's getting much harder to find them, is 100-ounce bars. It looks like the premium is about the same right now. There is a delay on some, some guys are having a hard time getting 100-ounce bars right now. I have plenty of them. And again, I advertise to beat all those guys, MX, SD, and JM, and the big guys like Miles Franklin, so the respectable companies out there on larger quantities. Silver 1-ounce rounds looks like they're in the spot plus $4 range. I don't like that price, but again, it is what it is. There seems to be a delay on delivery on those as well. It looks like there's going to be a backlog on some silver products out there, folks. So, and you're going to see that. Well, let's take a look. SD, I think, online is probably one of the cheapest people out there. And let's take a look where they are on silver rounds, 1-ounce silver rounds, and let's see kind of where they sit. And again, I'll beat these prices here. Oh, man. Uh-oh. Looks like I lost power to that thing. Lost power to my calculator. Uh-oh, NASA, we got an issue. Okay, there's a special they're running right there at $22.49 for their One Nation Under God. A lot of times you're going to find that, and that's a pre-sale right there, and I can beat their price on pre-sales. We have pre-sale silver right now that we'll sell you. That's a month down the road, kind of like what SD's talking about right now. If you want immediate delivery, they're talking about $23.09 per ounce. And again, $24.09 per ounce for less than 20, and you can see their quantity breakdown. I can absolutely beat these prices for sure on 1-ounce silver rounds as well. And those seem to be the more popular, smaller increments. When we get into what the best deals out there, they are really, let's take a look at 100-ounce bars where they are. And again, I'm giving SD some love. But like I said, if you live in South Florida, I'll beat SD's price for sure if you're buying less than 2,500 ounces silver. And if you're buying more tthan 2,500 ounces silver, I'll beat them too, and other larger retailers like Miles Franklin. And again, I don't keep bringing up these particular names, but I have a lot of respect for these big sellers, and I'm just being competitive. 100-ounce silver bars, generic, $21.99. Where does that put that? Give me 1 second. We'll use Siri to find out here. And remember, they put their silver price higher than everyone else here too. But let's use their silver price and see how much over they're getting. Ready? 21.99 subtract 19.10 equals.
The answer is 2.89.
So they're currently at $2, as low as $2.89 over for 100-ounce generic silver bars. That's their top seller. And again, we can beat that price as well for 100-ounce bars. And what else? Kilo bars next. But I'll go down. They are probably the cheapest online out of Atmex and JM right now. SD is. But like I said, I'll beat their prices. And let's move into gold. Gold, same thing. Gold right now, still the best deal out there is for spot plus 74 bucks or less is Valcombi and Swiss gold bars. I think Krugerrands are in that $90 range. Maples are in the high 90s, $100 range, low $100 range as far as the premium price over gold. I'd still recommend sticking with gold bars for sure. And as I said, we beat Atmex, JM, SD Bullion in larger quantities. If you want to give us a call, we do take wires and do phone deals for over 100 ounces of gold and beat the big guys, as I said. Hey, listen, that's it. I'm ready to call it quits for the weekend here. Start my vacation a little bit, but as I've promised, I've never missed, I really haven't. I've never missed out of, 600 plus videos, I think, right now. A single work day of doing these videos. So on my vacation, I'll at least give you a short update on things. Well, that's it. We're going to get into yesterday's video, which was Be Smarter or Get Eaten. Was that yesterday's video? I think it was. Let's take a look here. Go to the our home page here, as you can say. No, it's a big club and we ain't in it. That's yesterday's video. Sorry about that. Things kind of meld together over time. Another sip from my dry throat here, and another cheers to all you folks. I hope you have a great weekend. Like to thank everyone for commenting here. I'm going to look for some questions. Thank you, Zane. Appreciate that. Gen Z Prepper. And a lot of you folks, if I don't answer your questions and I don't directly acknowledge you, I still appreciate you very much. I really do. It's just these videos are not easy to do, and it's not easy to answer every question and acknowledge every person out there. But, you know, I got a lot of love for you. Jacksonville, Edgewood. I used to know Elliot. I think his name was Elliot. Oh, God, I forgot his name already. Man, it sucks getting old. Edgewood was owned by an old guy that was involved with why 1099s need to be filled out in gold and silver. I told that story once before. But he's been gone for quite some time. I'm not sure if it's new owners or his family, but I used to have a lot of respect for that guy that owned that place. Anyway, I understand, you know, you're trying to save money, and if they're not going to budge, they're not going to budge. There's not much you can do there. I did read your comment. Thank you very much. Yeah, the Jackson Hole Banksters Symposium was today, and that's exactly why you're seeing the monkey hammering, not because of inflation, not because of what Jackson Hole said, but because of the big commercial short position, see an opportunity to slam the gold and silver markets on stupid bullshit news like that. There you go. I said it real simply there. I should say that once, not 100 times during my videos. Keep buying, folks. What's up there, Joey? Paul, yeah. Yeah, real estate is big there. I read your comment yesterday, and that's true. Real estate is a big deal there. Yeah, I know. A lot of fake accounts out there impersonating me, folks. I see them in the comment section. Let's see if there's one down here. Nope, there's not. But I see them. I try to get rid of them. But most of you, if you're watching my videos, you're way too smart to get scammed and some bullshit common Nigerian mother effer trying to get you guys in my comment section. Capitalism sounds great. We should try it again. Actually, what we don't have is capitalism. We don't have free market capitalism, Jason. What we got going on out there is called crony capitalism, where government gets in bed with big corporations that they make special rules for because they pay them enough money, and they put money into the Democrat and Republican parties' coffers. All right, there you go. That was pretty easy to say as well. Temporary says, Brian, is the sky blue? Most easy questions you avoided my I do not avoid your questions, Temporary. Just like I said, sometimes I miss them, and sometimes I can't answer every question, and sometimes, hey, listen, I kind of blur by them. But anyway, I appreciate you watching, and again, folks, don't worry if I miss your questions. Nothing personal. It's just, man, you do these every day, and I kind of flash by things as well. And by the time we get to these into these videos right here, man, I'm pooped. That's why I think I need to get back to the morning format. Listen, as I say, folks, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Think for yourself, question authority, and most of all, question what you believe to be the truth. Go out and fact check yourself. If you're going to fact check anyone, fact check yourself first. Makes it much easier to go out. It makes it much easier to question authority, and that's thinking for yourself. Is fact checking yourself. That's it. This is Brian Kuzmar with Concierge Bullion Services. If you're buying more than 100 ounces of gold, you're buying more than 2,500 ounces of silver, please call us at Concierge Bullion Services, or you can fill out our little pre-form down here and ask us questions. But there's our phone number right there. And again, it's pretty easy, conciergebullion.com. Again, over 100 ounces of gold, over 2,500 ounces of silver. We do business on the phone, and we do bank wires. If you live in South Florida, and you can visit our store here, we're open 10 to 4 Mondays through Fridays. I've been doing this since 1977 and been in this location since 1995. Come and visit us. We buy and sell gold, silver, precious metals. And again, we offer to beat APMEX, SD, JM Bullion, and the big guys as well on larger deals. Wow, I'm getting good at saying that. That's it, man. Listen, cheers to all you folks. I'm going to finish the last sip in this glass. And that's to all of you. Have yourself a safe, wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you on Monday most likely. Bye now.